Hello, I'm at the Hudson River again, but way uptown this time, so, Inwood. I watched Making Manson documentary on Peacock streaming. I thought it was really very good, and it was very entertaining, very well done as far as crafted as a documentary. The way they told the story, I think it was in, 3 parts, and lots of footage. The tapes that guy has of Manson talking are all quite interesting. I mean, of course, the guy was a hustler and all this and that. They left all kinds of stuff out. I mean, the case is so deep and wide, and like all these things are all very interesting. And one thread that goes through so many of these things is that criminal prosecution in the USA. Once they get their man, they go rush all into that. Don't look much further, deeper into co-conspirators or whatever else. They just focus on, getting a conviction for this one guy, or in this case, this group of people, which they did. Of course, they got the death penalty, which was later some sort of court ruling made death penalty not happening in California. So they, some of them are still in jail. And Charlie being quite dead. But things that left out, I mean, they did go into Bugliosi's being, kind of just sort of seeing ka-chink, knowing he was writing a book right away and setting out to write the book. So they did cover that, and while the trial was still on, looking for publishers for the book, writing to publishers and so forth. So, but it didn't go into the background of him. This whole thing about the milkman, thinking the milkman, there's this whole other story about him thinking that the milkman was the father of one of his kids or some kind of crap, and harassing the milkman and all this stuff that went on before the trial. And that's quite an interesting story too. So it's kind of specific as what it was, but other people have gone into a deeper speculation and investigation of this, as in the Tom O'Neill book Chaos, where he talks about the MK Ultra background of Manson. I mean, the documentary didn't talk about his time in San Francisco at all, and whether he, in the Tom O'Neill book, which I read a couple of years ago, so it's not exactly fresh in my mind, but how he, was dealt with by these hypnotists and these, once again, and these MK Ultra people with all the acid and so forth. So I don't know. It was anyway. It's a good documentary, and I think people should, if you're interested in, to look into the Tom O'Neill book and other things about it. So, but Making Manson was quite solid, quite good, quite entertaining, and I really enjoyed watching it. So it's not like I have an intense interest in the Manson issues. And I haven't read that much about it. I did read the Chaos book. And I did not read Helter Skelter, the fucking Bugliosi thing, or watch any of the TV adaptations of the story, Steve's Railback or whatever it was years ago. I saw Charlie Says, which is really a good movie, so that's something different. I did read The Family by Ed Sanders, many years ago when it first came out. And Ed Sanders, who was, a definite bona fide poet, bohemian type New Yorker, wrote the book about the family. And that was quite good. I liked that when I read it, 50 years ago? I'll tell you all about it. I'll tell you about a book I read 50 years ago. So, right. So, yeah. So, so much for me today, and so much for the Hudson River. And there's the George Washington Bridge back there, and beautiful New Jersey across the way. New Jersey doesn't look any better than from up here when it's just these beautiful cliffs of the Palisades.